In the fall of 2014, I went on my first actual moose hunt. The school where I work takes their high school students on annual relevant education trips to go moose and seal hunting. This moose hunting trip was a 5-day camping trip, and students had to document their experience while gathering information for an informational poster to present at the annual fall feed that the school hosts. We traveled for roughly 7 hours by boat from St. Mary's to a place called Pymute, which is roughly 45 air miles northeast of Russian Mission, Alaska. There were a total of 7 boats, 14 adults, and 35 students that went on the trip. Each boat consisted of a boat captain, chaperones, and the students. The hunting crew in my boat was comprised of the boat captain, 3 students, and myself. There are 2 main reasons why people hunt for moose: for food or for their antlers. Our trip was for food. Moose is one of the most important big game species in Alaska because it is a primary source of red meat for the majority of rural Alaskans. An estimated 7,300 moose are harvested each year in Alaska. The average male moose can weigh anywhere from 840 to 1,540 pounds, and the weight of salvageable meat is approximately half the weight of the moose. Unfortunately, there are times when some of this valuable meat is wasted. This occurs most often when hunters are only interested in the size of the antlers and not the meat. These hunts are sometimes called trophy hunts. It is rare, but there are some people who solely hunt for the size of a moose's antlers. Some of these trophy hunters just take the antlers and leave the rest of the moose to be wasted, which is against the law in the state of Alaska. This angers many people because moose meat is very valuable, and not properly harvesting the meat is disrespecting the animal. For many people in Alaska, one large moose can provide enough meat to feed a family for almost an entire year. Even though we were not trophy hunting, stories of trophy hunts and the wasting of meat made me hesitant to go on such a large hunting trip, but the experience and knowledge that I would gain would make the trip worthwhile. It was a calm, overcast morning, and everyone woke up early to eat breakfast and prepare for the hunting trips. There was a brief safety meeting, and we decided on a time to meet back at the camp. Shortly after the safety meeting, everyone departed the campsite to hunt in different locations amongst the rivers and sloughs. Our boat traveled about 20 minutes away from the site in a nearby slough. The boat glided through the water effortlessly. We stopped at a few locations to check for moose. At the first 2 locations, no moose were seen, although moose tracks lined the banks of the slough. As we turned the corner of the slough, we spotted a cow and a calf climbing up the bank from the river. The boat captain quickly parked the boat near the spot where the cow and calf climbed the bank. A crew member hastily anchored the boat onto the bank and got everyone ready to pursue the moose. We climbed the bank and trekked through the tree line to an open area. The 2 male hunters walked along the brush line towards the area where we saw the cow and calf. The girls, including myself, found a fallen tree, which we used as a viewing point. The hunters started to make moose calls, which are loud, grunting sounds. It didn't take long for us to spot the cow and the calf at the other side of the clearing. Not long after that, we spotted a large bull that came out behind the cow and calf. The girls kept quiet so that we wouldn't scare away the potential catch. The hunters kept calling the moose and scraping their guns against the brush to imitate a bull moose challenging another bull. It didn't take long for the bull to start scraping its antlers against the bush to defend its territory. Soon the bull started walking out in the open towards the hunters. The bull slowly swayed its antlers as it walked to signal that it was ready to challenge another for its territory. The bull turned slightly away from the hunters, indicating that it may turn around. However, that gave the hunters a better angle to shoot the moose. As the moose turned, a loud shot echoed through the air. We could tell that the shot hit the bull as it tried to turn around. The moose started to stagger, and soon another shot rang out. Not long after the second shot, the moose fell to the ground, and we all cheered for a successful catch. The boat captain walked out to the dying moose and fired a kill shot to end the moose's suffering. The excitement of the hunt was over, and then the real work began. Through my moose hunting experience, I can understand why some people may be tempted not to salvage all the meat from a moose. The bigger the moose, the heavier the parts of the moose are to carry. My hunting crew consisted of 2 young males and 3 females, myself included. None of us were very experienced on butchering a moose. The boat captain tried to recall what he had learned from butchering a moose, and we all proceeded to help. It took us roughly 5 hours using 2 large folding knives and not much brawn. By the time we finished, we were all relieved that we were able to get the moose butchered and into the boat. It was a physically challenging process. Thankfully, we were able to salvage all of the meat as well as the vital organs. Moose hunting is an exciting and rewarding experience. I was able to experience the excitement of pursuing and catching a moose, and I learned how to properly butcher a moose to salvage all of the meat. The hard work involved made me appreciate hunting more. It was an exciting experience that I will never forget, and the knowledge that I gained I will carry with me forever. If given the opportunity, I would gladly pass this knowledge along to others to maintain a valuable Yupik tradition.
Hey,